Okay, so students, today we have a topic reinforcement learning. That is a active reinforcement learning, exploration, and learning. As I told you, the idea about the passive learning in the previous lecture. So we have covered its three important methods. Those are the DACT, utility estimation, temporal difference learning, and ADP, that is the adaptive dynamic programming. So we have covered these three different methods under the passive learning. Now it's time to see the active reinforcement learning, or we can say active learning under the reinforcement learning. So what we have seen in the passive learning, we have to use a optimal policy that is a fixed. So while learning or while uh, passive learning, we are not able to change its decided policy. What is the policy we have decided? We have to go through and we have to go through the such learning, and we are not able to change anything. But the question we must have over here, who will change? Definitely agent. So the in an environment, agent decided the policy, and that policy will be followed by the agent during the learning period of the environment, or in the environment we can say. So that is the to be done by the passive. But when talking about the active learning, so active learning is saying to us when agent decided a policy, it decided an optimal policy, but it found that there are some changes is also possible in the policy, then it is also possible. So we can update some point, we can update the policy, and what you are doing, you are updating something while learning the model. So when try to learn the model, that is part of the reinforcement learning, we can also change its some values. So agent has a right, or the policy can be also amendment, policy can also be updated as per the learning situation. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So the question we have written over here, while learning the anything, that is the uncertain word. So uncertainty can become, or uncertainty can be happen during at any moment. So that is the point. From this point we have to use the active learning. So active learning will be started by our first method, but before describing the EDP with the exploration function, I just like to share a small video which describe uh, the point which describe the step-by-step approach. But before giving the all details right now over here, just let me inform you all the point we must keep in mind right now. There are two type of the learning in the reinforcement learning: passive and active. So what are the method we have seen the passive? I'm repeating once again: direct estimation utility, temporal decision, temporal differences learning. Next one is ADP. So what are the method? And we have to see into the active learning, Q learning, and ADP with exploration function. So before that, just let me show my video. What this video is saying to us. So this video. So this image is visible to all, and the slide is visible to all. Yes, tell me right now.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So from this point, you can see what we have. We have the two type of the, or our screen is divided into two parts. One is following by the playing the game of Mario game, and next part is showing to us about the some details which is containing by the two parts. One is direct reward values and discounted expected future reward value. So this can be identified by as a gamma value. So you have gone through the various equations where you have found that is a gamma is available. So what is a gamma? Gamma is a discounted factor, as we have seen. So in this case, we are simulating the work, or simulating the game model when we are trying to get the reward, when trying to get the some points. So what is affecting over the here, and we can understand this concept by the simulation manner. And this deal with the simulation approach. This is not dealing with the real life situation. So when we have to see the thing which is pulling by the real life situation, then we have the model free approach. But when we have to use the simulation based approach, then that is known as the model based. So in the model based, we have to use a model that is known as a transition model actually. So when we are dealing with the problem that is followed by the simulation, and that is known as the model based concept. So at the time which model we have to use, that is transition model. And transition model will be used by the ADP, that is the adaptive dynamic programming, and we have discarded such model from in the temporal differences learning. So that is the point. If you remember from the last slide, we have removed or we have not evaluated the value of the transition model. So we can say temporal differences model or temporal difference learning model is a part of the model free, while ADP is a part of the model based. That is a point we have to keep in mind. So inspired from the such concept, we have this video. So while playing the video, you will able to see the graph is just moving up and down, which shows that we have the two kind of the color. One is the blue color, other one is green color. So blue color is showing to us we are getting the reward, then this graph may fluctuate. Same thing, if you are looking at the green graph, green bar or green line, then you will be able to see this is showing to us discounted expected future value, and we have initialized its value as a 0.90. So as per the requirement, as per the our dynamic nature of the active learning, while choosing the policy or a policy amendment, some values are amendment or some values are updated. So GAMA values is also updated as our requirement. So these values are also having the some fluctuation. So you will be able to see. So now I'm going to start this video, then you will be able to see what is happening over here. And while playing the Mario game, you have been observed, but I'm just collecting the some points, so I'm just getting the more and more points. But it is not necessary. The aim we should need to cover we need to cover the we need to catch the level. So while covering the level or while completing the level, then you will be happy you have covered the level one. But how many points you have gained? No idea. So how we can say we can gain all the points through the collecting the points, or by just destroying the ducks which are moving from left to side, or vice versa. We can say on the platform, on the wall. So we can gain again more and more points. So from this perspective, you will be able to what is happening over the ground. So let me play this video, then you will be able to see. Before that, just let me know once again, this screen is visible. The Mario game and the other part is the simulative version followed by the graphic manner. It is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I have started my video. Now you will be able to see this video is going on. So when I'm just destroying the duck, then you will be able to see what I'm getting. I'm getting the some rewards. Okay. So suddenly my graph is fluctuating. When I'm collecting the points, I'm just destroying the duck. So you will be able to see I'm getting the points. So my reward value will be fluctuated from the some distances. So it could be minus 50 to 15 and minus 10 to 10, and so there is range. Okay, so we can get this point right now. We can also gaining the reward, but the point we have to keep in mind while covering some distances, small amount of distances followed by the time factor. If you are not getting some point, then you are getting into the negative reward. That is the point you have to keep in mind. Now, is it visible to all? Now you have been observed over here. So after we see, I didn't collect the lots of the coin over here, but I completed my level. So that is the point. So from this graph is showing to us now after completion of the course, now you will be able to see how many coins or how many points I have covered. So it is multiplied by the 50. So respectively that point, I just collecting into the form of the reward. So suddenly my graph is going to the high way. So that is in form of the positive, no negative values we are getting over here. So now maximum we are touching, you can able to see maximum we are touching between the 20 to 25, or we can say 23 to 25 as well. So it is visible to all right now. Yes, tell me, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it means when you are getting the reward, it means your graph is showing the some distance, some positive thing. Okay, so when you are getting the higher reward, so it is covering the more and more point from this point. Okay, so now I have started once again. Now I'm just yes, we have covered. We were on this part right now. Okay, so now you have been again observed over here. From this point, I'm not getting any point right now. So from this point, you will be able to do, and now my graph is moving down. So you can able to see I'm going down over here because I'm not getting any point over here. That is my point. So from this perspective, you will be able to see what is happening over here. So this is a simulation based approach which describe the active or passive learning. But what is the thing you are using? So that is to be done by the model based approach. In this model, we have to use a transition model. And what is a transition model? So just let me inform you all right now. Transition model is a kind of the model under the reinforcement learning which describe when you are moving from one state to another state. So when we are moving or when you're transiting one state to another state, that is to be done by a model, and that model is known as the transition model. Transition model. And the equation we can identify the t inside the bracket. We have the s comma a comma s dash. So what is this? We have a transition model when moving from s state to s dash state, following by the some action that is a. So respectively, or following by the respective parameters, we have to build a model that is a transition model. So that is also applicable over here, and that is to be supported by the about two important method. One is ADP and ADP with exploration function. So ADP was the part of the passive learning, but when talking about the ADP with exploration function, so that is to be transformed into the passive to active learning. So what I am speaking over here, ADP is the method of the passive learning under the reinforcement learning, which is used the transition model. But what was the drawback? If you remember the my drawback was the it has the high time complexity, that is order of n cube. So n was the number of the states. Okay, so that is number of the states we have to keep in mind. So from this perspective, we have to understand the first active learning model method, that is a ADP with exploration function. So ADP, we are known to that part. Now, what is the thing we are using over here? That is, we have the point over here, exploration function. So let me start right now and let me move to the next slide to explain the first method. Yeah. So the first method under the ADP with exploration function, we have this one. This is a adaptive dynamic programming with exploration function. So what we are doing over here, the model we are using as it is ADP, but we are immerse a function that is known as the exploration function. But before starting this topic, let me give some more idea about the exploration function in summarized way. Then you will be able to happy to know that part only. So exploration function is saying to us, this is a classical approach, a simple concept we have to use in the reinforcement learning based problem solving to explore and to exploit. So exploration part I'm not touching, but I'm touching only the exploration part. So explorer is saying to us, you will like to explore more and more parameter to get the more and more pointer to get the more and more points. Suppose just example, I'm speaking about the my game example of the Mario game. So you're collecting the more and more points. Definitely time counter is going on, but in between I'm getting the more and more point. I need to keep in mind the time counter as well. So I'm getting the more and more points. What I'm doing, I'm getting the more and more reward. So you are exploring various points. Suppose you are going into the going down into a pool where you found some lots of the coin I can also collect. So what you're getting? You are getting the more and more reward. So this is the time you are exploring something. So while playing the game, you will be familiar at this point. Okay, this is the pole. This is the pole where I can go down, where I can get the lots of the coin, and it was very localized to provide the happiness to us when we are collecting the more and more points. So that is the point you are trying to explore something. So, but without going down into the pool, you can also complete the level without any doubt. So it is happening into the smooth way. So no way within the 60 seconds you can complete your level. Now you will happy to say your friend, I have completed level one. But how many points or how many rewards you have collected? That is the point. So what is the learning you can see from the Mario game? You just require to get more and more points. Then you will say you with your friend. You can also share to your friend as well within the time period. Okay, but I have utilized the entire time and I collected the lots of the points. So I have right now the approx 50,000, 60,000 points, but you have only 10,000 because you have completed the level within the short of the period of time, but you didn't collect the lots of the points. That is the point. So exploration function is providing the same mechanism, is saying to us while learning you can explore the your learning path or a learning way, we can say. I can explain this example, this concept with a real life example. Then you will happy to know that part right now. As I told you, when you're moving one place to another place, but suddenly we found there is jam after the 10 kilometers. We found that there is jam and it will not be cleared within the 1 hour. To save your 1 hour, you will ask to uh, uh, you will ask from anyone what is the shortest path so I can cover the I can cover the or I can cross this jam from the other path. So this is what this is you are exploring yourself to reach your destination, to reach at the destination by exploring the different paths. This is happening. So this is what this is the exploration, or we can say we are doing something with the help of some function, and such function is known as the exploration function. So in the ADP, that is the adaptive dynamic programming, as its nature, we can do anything on the dynamic form. But in the passive learning, we didn't do anything with the dynamic approach. But as the name is suggesting, adaptive dynamic programming. So while doing anything on the dynamic manner, if we are emerging the exploration function, now it is change, or the passive mode of the ADP is changed into the active mode. So ADP with the exploration function is known as an active learning example or active learning method, while ADP was a simple method of the passive learning. That was the point. So the equations we have over here, that is ui plus 1, this u is utility, and on the state, that is s. So rs is, as we know, this is the reward function of the state, and y is, that is not y, this is gamma. Gamma is our discount factor, as you have seen also in the simulation work well while showing the video. And max is a maximum value we have to choose from the capital A was the A is subset of the A capital A S. So it's saying to us A is small, A is the action on which we are choosing the maximum action, and capital A is a set of the actions on the particular state, because on the state you are not performing single action, you can perform the many actions. So from the set of the action, we are choosing the one action from the state, that is S. Now we have function fun. This u I have just highlighted underlined by u. So this is a function which is known as a u, and comma n is another parameter. What is n and what is u? I will tell you. But before that, we have to keep in mind the function we are using. That is followed by the two important parameters. One is the u, and another one is n. So this is what is known as the exploration function. Okay, so this function is visible to all right now. So in the ADP, we are not using the transition model. Instead of transition model, what we are using the exploration function. Rest of the thing was as it is. Rest of the thing we have same. Instead of the transition model, I'm just using only the exploration function, and with the help of the exploration function, my ADP mod method under the reinforcement learning will transform into the passive to active learning mode. That is the mind. Yes, tell me right now. This concept is clear by the real life example, as I told you. Okay. So now tell me right now, any doubt? Yes, any doubt you are having? So please, you can ask me right now.
No, sir.
Okay. Can I move to the next slide?
Sure, sir.
Okay. So it's continuation part of the ADP with the exploration functions. We have this point right now. So as I told you, where fun. So un is what? So f is a function which is compromising by the two parts. One is a u, and another one is n. What is u? U is basically is expected value u that we are expecting. Just like example, if I'm moving from the same path, but I found that there's jam, so I'm choosing another path. So I'm expecting this would be the better path. There's no guarantee. See, while learning, there's no guarantee you are going to the right direction, but you are expecting that you are going to the right direction. So this is learning actually. So we are expecting something, the path which is chosen by us from this point, because if I'm moving ahead side, then I can easily find that I will be the stuck into the jam. It is better idea to I will take right turn or left turn, so I can cover my distance with the minimum time of the period. So at least I can save my time So there's no guarantee you are going to the right direction, but you are expecting. So that is the point. U is the what? U is our expected value, and n is the decrease in the number of tries, because this is saying to us when you're when you are trying the one of after the first attempt, you can achieve the your goal with a perfect manner. There's no guarantee. Maybe the second time you're trying to achieve the goal, so how many times you are trying, how many tries you are having, that is to be identified the value, that is n. So now let us move to the backside. Everything will be done by the two aspects. One is a state and that is action. So if an agent is performing something on the state, okay, then what is the action to be performed by the agent? That is also to be identified by the that these two parameters. So when we're talking about the summation of the p and other factors, that is you have the expected value. So everything to be done by the its utility value and its state and its action. So these are the important parameter because we have the limited parameter to learn the reinforcement learning or any kind of learning. So what are those parameters? State, action, utility value, and in general term we have the environment, agent, policies, okay, actions, and other parameters as well. So we have seen this part. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So these are the important things. But when talking about this function, if we found that if this number of times get trying, so in maybe you are achieving goal one attempt, two attempts, three attempts, four attempts. So how many tries you are having. So based on this parameter, if it is less than or lesser than the any. So what is any? N is not a negative. N is means the number of times if we want an agent to be forced to take an action in every state. So each and every state when an agent just try to perform the task, that is to be also identified by the NE. So this NE is greater than, that is the N, that is number of tries. It is just like example, suppose I'm playing the Mario game, and on the first attempt, I have achieved the lots of reward. Okay, I've gained 10,000 points, but my friend is playing the same game and he got the 900 point 9,000 point after 5 attempts. So from this point you can understand I'm using the first attempt and I'm getting the more and more rewards. So what do you think? I have become the optimistic. I have become the optimistic because on the first attempt I got the lots of the points, but my friend is just trying to 2 or 3 times, 5 times, he got the 9,000. So this is the point where you can see while playing the any game, you can see observe so many times you have been observed. If you're trying to play the game or you try to cover the level first time, then you are not getting the many points. But in the second time, it's third time, fourth time, 5 times, maybe the after 50 to 60 times, on the first attempt, you will be able to get the more and more points because you are covering distance, you are playing so many, because now you will be familiar actually. So when you have become the familiar of the such part where we can achieve the lots of the points, this is what the optimistic. But how you are doing? Because after playing playing the 60 or 17 time or maybe the 20 or 20 time 20 30 time, you are exploring the various points. So you know which movement or which path you will do, you have decided that may have the lots of the points, so you're covering such path. So this can be happen to the while playing the Need for Speed game if you play it, and while playing the other games, while playing the fight game. So if you are choosing the specific movement, then you are getting the more and more points while playing the fight game. So this is what, because you have been observed. If I'm playing the if I'm using the such kind of the shortcut, if I'm using such kind of the keys, and then I'm using such kind of the moves, then I can have the lots of the points over here. So that is the point. This R plus means the optimistic reward, because on the first try, you are on the first try or the second try, you are getting the moral point as it is already decided by the others one that the particular state the agent or the other agents have been gain the lots of the tries. So it's a better idea to you are putting the number of you are putting the lesser number of the tries compared by the any. Any is I'm speaking once again. That is the number of the an agent to be forced to pick an agent in every state. In your terms, I can speak over here just like this example. In the first attempt, you are clearing the any courses and you are getting the 65 marks out of 70. Then this is what? This is N. And your friend, it should not be happen, but I'm just taking a simple example. Your friend is trying to face the exam. Now he got the 40. Now he's appearing because I'm not saying to fail or pass, right? But he want to reappear to gain more and more marks. Again, he is appearing. Now he is getting the 62 marks. So this is what, after attempting the 2 times, he was achieved 60 marks. That is the highest marks of the him. But you got the 65 marks in the first attempt out of the 70 marks, something like this. So this is what, this is a small and this small and belong to you, and the any value belong to the your friend. That is my point. Or rather thing, if it is not happening, so ultimately you are going to expected value. So if it is reverse part, or then we can say if your friend is getting the more point after getting the 5 attempts, but after attempting the 4 attempts, you are getting the lesser marks than your friend. Then what is this? It is not a good. It means the expected value you are expecting, then that is following by the u. Just like in this example, after attempting the 2 attempts, your friend is getting the 70 marks out of 70, but after attempting the 3 attempts, you are getting the 65. This is what, your marks is lesser than your friend. So this was the expected value. So that is to be identified by the only the u parameter. So R plus, we must keep in mind the R plus, that is a reward positive, and that is also known as the optimistic reward. So this is to be done by the our important function, and that is known as the exploration function. So exploration function is saying to us, we will try to transform the ADP method that was a passive into the our active one. So what we're doing, we are transforming our method passive to the active, and of course, who will run? Definitely agent will run. So that the terms are written over here, or the points are written over here. The exploration function converts a passive agent into an active one. That is the point. So this is just idea about the ADP with exploration function. This simple, I have explained my idea within the two slides, that is the ADP with exploration function and nothing else. So we will not need to bother about the other kind of thing, but I have explained my idea with help of the various real life situation example. It is not written over here, but you can try it into the examination properly in summarized way, so I can understand if I give you this kind of a question. So now tell me, the point is clear, or anything you want to ask right now? Or anyone who want to ask something?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to move to the next kind of the learning, that is Q learning. So Q learning basically inspired by the our passive learning method, that was the TD learning. TD is in shortened way of the temporal difference learning. So in the temporal difference learning, as I told you before starting my lecture, we have to remove, or we can't evaluate the, we will not like to evaluate the transition model values or transition model values parameters. We will not like to use. So from this perspective, what we are doing in the Q learning, what we have to use, we have to use two value function instead of the transition model that is used by the ADP. So in the temporal difference learning, I'm speaking once again, in the temporal difference learning, we will use only the reward function and utility value of the next state, and we will add these two value, and then we are getting the current state utility value. That is a temporal difference learning simple concept, and this concept we have also seen into the one limit. So we are not considering, or we are not evaluating the our important point, if you remember, that is transition model. So we are not considering. So that is the reason temporal difference is now considered into the our model free yes, model free approach. So same thing we can say in the Q learning if we are not considering, we are not using a transition model. So instead of the transition model, we have to use a value function that is known as the Q value function. And that is to be written like over here Q as A. As A is definitely would be the state and action. Because I have, only these are the two important parameters on which your entire equation will be performed. Will be evaluated or will be performed in variable manner. So US is the utility of the particular state. You can easily calculate it by choosing the maximum actions value following by the Q value function that is the QSA. And see, there's no fixed value because we can change its value as our required while covering the distance or by covering the each and everything whenever we need to do anything. So if we need to update the Q value as our desired while seeing the this, if I'm choosing this thing, then I'm taking too much time, so I can update something. So updation can be possible in the active learning, while updation in the passive learning is not possible because we have to use fixed learning in the passive learning. With active learning, we are not using a fixed optimum policy. The policy can be updated, policy can be amendment by updated by the or amendment by the learning path. So from this perspective, Q value can be updated. So Q value can be updated by the following equations you can see over here. So QSA tends to QSA. So QSA, which is written over the left hand side, then that is a new value because you are expecting the updated new value or updated or new value of the Q value function. So QSA is a new value and which is tends to QSA. So you can see on the right side that is the old value and plus alpha. Alpha is a learning rate. What is a learning rate? As we have discussed, this is the smallest value which is provide the efficiency or effectiveness or model to get the better result because you're trying to remove the previous one values. So you can see inside the bracket that you are trying to remove the previous value, and this part we also discuss into the neural network while learning the gradient descent. So if you're trying to remove or this part we have also discussed into the weight updation part. Okay. So in the learning rate we are using, so definitely what we are doing, we are removing the previous mean value. So if you're trying to remove previous mean value, at least your new or updated value should be different. So that is the reason we have to use our learning rate parameter, and it is mandatory actually. It is not optional. So inside the bracket, you can see the RS. R is a reward function. So this reward function is the previous state reward function plus gamma. This gamma again, I'm talking about the discount factor, maximum action ADAS. So it means ADAS is the next state actions what is to be performed, and Q as des is the next states a point that is as des, and next state's action can be identified by the ADAS and minus QSA. So minus QSA means you're subtracting. So if you're trying to remove something, you're trying to subtract something, that is the alpha is required over here. So it can have the minimum, it provides the minimum difference. So we will close to the our expected output as we have seen the while determining the updated weight in the neural network while learning the backpropagation. So gamma I have not written over here because as we know this is the discounted factor. From this perspective, we have to keep in mind, and this is the two learning point. After this point, what is the action you are using while updating the Q value? So now, what is the next thing we have to keep in mind? We have to take an next action on the hour selected by using the policy because you have updated the Q value function. Now you have to use the policy to based on your updated Q value functions. That is the from this perspective we have to decide the what will be the new action. It is just like example while covering the distances and you want to shun from the jam, then you are choosing the another path. Then what is the action you are doing? Because there is no guarantee you are going to the right direction, but you are expecting that we are on the right direction. So from this perspective, at least what is the policy, what is the idea you have in your mind that is to be applying? Okay, I must keep the speed 20 kilometer per hour, 30 kilometer per hour because the shortcut beyond the some kind of the not well designed road, you can't use the speed of the 100 kilometer per hour. From this perspective, you have to take the you have to amendment some policy what you have chosen. So that is my idea. So what is the action you are following? So in the next action can be updated by the or can be written by the two important parameter. One is this one q and s. So q is what? Q is our q value function and n is the number of the tries. So s dash is because we are looking for the next action. Next action what would be? So you have to talk about the next state that is to be identified by the or that is to be recognized by the s dash. From this point, we have to use each and every step properly. So far, I told you about the Q learning. So Q learning is nothing. Q learning is just extended version of the temporal difference learning from the passive learning, and instead of the transition model, which is to be discarded in the temporal learning, but we have to use the Q value. So from this point, we are using such part that is Q learning and nothing else. And we have to update our next state next actions parameter next state what would be expecting. So we have to pick this one, but we have to note down over here we have the one advantage one disadvantage. This is a very simpler algorithm or this is a simpler concept of the reinforcement learning, that is the q learning. Nowadays I have been observed so many times q learning is the most popular learning in the reinforcement learning. Why? Because it is simpler. It is simpler learning. It's a simpler algorithm. But what is the drawback? Drawback is saying to us it is slower than the ADP. What is ADP? Adaptive dynamic programming, where transition model is applicable. So instead of the transition model, you are trying to use the Q value function. So Q value function will keep the details of the all its successor. So definitely, it will be slower than the ADP. That is the adaptive dynamic programming. But in the adaptive dynamic programming, we are using the only transition model. I'm speaking once again. It is not written over here. Please listen carefully. In the transition model, we are just following the current state to the next state details only. But in the Q value functions, we will require to keep the details of the all its successor. So definitely it will keep the detail of the all its successor. So definitely it would be slower than the ADP map. That is the only reason. From this point, you have to keep in mind while understanding this. But why it is simpler? Because it provides a better result. It provides a better result. Why? Because we are part of the active learning and Q learning is a part of the active learning, and we can update the information as our required or while choosing the small while saving the time or while getting the more and more reward. That is the reason it is simpler. It is more simpler than the other algorithms so far we have discussed. So that is the reason Q learning can be understood by the real life situation as well. That is the real life and logging. Just like the temporal difference learning. In the temporal difference learning, we have used exam analogy. But here we can also understand Q learning by the another kind of the real life analogy we can see. But before that, just let me know the start right now. The introductory part about the Q learning is clear. So I'm not going to the deeply part of the derivative because as per the syllabus demand, derivation is not required. So we will use the equations which are required to understand over here. Because in the coming days or maybe in the coming year, if anyone asks you the question, have you heard this equation or have you seen this equation? Then you will not be able to say no. At least you will be able to say, yes, sir, we have seen this equation. What is the purpose of this equation? That is the reason. So I'm putting the I'm putting to content along with the equations, and that is the only requirement. So now my question will be remain over here right now. Any doubts so far? Yes, if you have, then you can ask me right now. Anyone? Yes, tell me any doubt.
No, sir.
Now, so should I explain the Q learning with the real life analogy situation? Yes, tell me. Should I explain the analogy situation right now about the Q learning?
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, as I told you, temporal difference learning was a part of the passive learning, and that is understood by the real life examples. Same thing we can understand Q learning by the real life situation as well. So here, without with the help of the theoretical lots of theory I have over here, so I'm not touching the theoretical part over here. But what is the exit problem? So just let me inform you the detail about the only problem what we have. The problem we have like this one in an automobile factory analogy we are using, where there are lots of the robots arm, robotic arm of course, and they are following by the artificial intelligence manufacturing base system. So no people or no user involvement is required. Just only we can say it's just managing purpose only. So user involvement will be only for managing purpose only. Construction or not construction, we can say the building or designing to be done by the robotics arm only. So here we have the total different robots, and each and every robot will require to do the some different activity, just like the assembling the cars. So while assembling the cars, we cannot start to assemble the first just assemble the tire only. We will try to make the body, then design the body, then make the body, and then just design the body properly, and just measure the body size and so on. So we can't assemble the uh, engine directly. We have to use some steps. So that is steps can be identified by the various location. So this example you can easily understand by the real life situation. So I will tell you the real life situation, but before that, just let me know the this image is visible. Here we have the total 9 locations L1 to L9. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, L6, L7, L8, 9. Just tell me right now. So total 9 locations are visible to all. This image is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. So please note down this example in your mind as well. You can see there is a red line
Yes,
between
sir,
L1 and
visible.
L4. Yeah. Okay. So there is a red line between the L1 and L4. Is it visible?
It's a blue line, sir.
No. Red line. Red line. There is a red line between L1 and L4. Don't think about the L2 other part. L1 and L4. And there is a this red line is just blockage between the communication. Okay, I'm just marking by the my color pen. This one. This is visible. I'm marking once again. This is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, sir, visible.
so L1 and L4 cannot communicate directly. So these are the robotics arm cannot communicate directly with the other devices. Same L4 cannot communicate directly to the L5. Okay. So same thing you can see L5 cannot communicate directly to the L6, and L6 cannot communicate directly to the L9 or vice versa we can say. So from this point you have to keep in mind if you're on the first location, that is L1. So before describing this example, I just like to explain the real life situation, then you will have able to understand this example simple way. You are having the four-wheeler, two-wheeler. So whenever you need to visit the workshop of the two-wheeler, four-wheeler for service purpose, then you are going to the service center where you have to do something. Just you want repair, or you want just wash or cleaning of your moped or bike or car or other vehicle as well. So you can observe over here there are some sub stations are available. So on the station number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there are lots of station, and you are giving your vehicle to them. And if mechanic is just trying to repair some parts of your vehicle, then it found that this part is totally damaged, then you are required to replace it. So what you will do? The mechanical will repair only. Mechanical will repair, or mechanic can replace the part only. But he is not manufacturing, so he will just visit to another location, or maybe the small section of the uh, small section of the part distribution center. So that part distribution center is small another location. So he will visit the part distribution location, and you note down your vehicle number, and this vehicle number, note down the vehicle number or station number we can say. So he coming back and just changing your part. So this is what this is a location. So L1 to L9 we have a different location. But this diagram is saying to us the L1 and L4 cannot communicate directly, while L1 and L2 can communicate directly, or L2 or L3 can communicate directly, and L2 and L5 can communicate directly, while L5, L3 and L6 can communicate. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So from this point, we have to understand this question right now. So, but the question is still in our mind while learning the anything in the reinforcement learning: environment, agent, reward. Okay, so these are the various terms we have seen. So we are understanding this all these terms over here in a simple way. Now, understand. You can see over here. You can see over here in simple way. That point you can note down in simple way. Total locations are the L9. So with respectively these locations or these levels, we can say we have the states, because in the machine the user can understand this is location number 1 2 3 and this is location number 1 belong to the repair only, location number 2 belong to the replacement center, location number 3 is known to the distribution center, and so on, so but machine doesn't know, because everything to be done by the robotics arm only. So robotic arm will identify only the one term, that is state, because machine will only understand the its state, what the machine is doing and what is the completion, what is the assigned work can do. So now you can see the robotic arm L1, it is only just pick the device, pick the cars only. So this device cannot design anything. So that is my point. Now location number 2, where we have the some some component which is just used to wash the vehicle only. Okay, so you can see the car is just try to wash only. So this is the location where the washing or cleaning is applicable only. This is not possible for the repairing purpose. So repair cannot be done at any cost in this location. Same thing, the machine is just recognized by on its state only. So just like the example, when you are moving one state to another state and its identity is required. Same thing, same thing. Here we have the various location and its various state. So the point we have over here, state. So with respectively each and every locations, we have the some state. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So state can be started by the 0 or 1 as our desired value what you want to use. So I am using right now the 0 in 0 locate 0 to 8. So total would be the 9 states as per the our locations. So location at which a robot is present at a particular instance is called the state, and since it is easy to code it rather than the remembering. So when any machine is not performing the very well manner, there is some problem. So we can say what is the state where we have the problem. So we can identify the problem through the states only. That is the point. So machine can recognize from this state to this state. We are not transiting over here. So we can easily identify there was a problem in the such state. That is reason. That is reason we are identified by the states. So next point, I was discussing with a simple way. So before that, just let me show this point. Agents will be, this is our component of the reinforcement learning. Environment. So environment, we have seen the total number, the 9 locations. Actions. Now rewards and state. So states we have seen. Environment we have seen. This was the environment. Okay. And agents, we know each and every location is an own agent, or we can say right now our vehicle could be an agent, because it is moving to one state to another state or one location to another state. So agent can be a car. Environment, the collection of the various or the setup of the our various locations. We have the 9 locations. So what is the action and reward? I will tell you. States means the identity of the our machines. That is the point. Why identity? Because machine is just receiving the car from the previous location. So what was the previous location? That was a washing. So first picking the car and then washing, and then it should not be happen. First picking the car and repair and then washing and then repair. So we have to the machine is required to keep the detail in the form of the state where from which state I must take the data. Okay, the data means car. So that is the point we have to keep in mind. So now, so after understanding the state, now what is action? So action is saying to us that L2. So in the L2, we have to a car which is required to wash only. So it can we can move it into its L1 location or L3 location or L5 location. So L3 and L5 location we can move directly to know the performance of the car. What is the exit problem? So maybe it's consuming the lots of the fuel, or maybe it is just providing the or just releasing the lots of the smoke. So what is the problem? So with the help of the various technical devices, we can easily identify what was the problem. So after cleaning the car, we can move into the L3 location, L5 location, or L1 location as our desire. So this is the action. So actions are nothing, just movement of our uh, object, or that is an agent, we can say, from the location to location. So this is our reward. So reward is saying to us, if you are moving correctly one location to another location, then you are getting the one reward. Okay, that is P. After cleaning the car, you are moving L3, then okay, you are getting the reward. It means you are moving to the right direction. And that is we can say the possible solution. We can move over here. But L1 to L4 we can't move because there is a channel which is blocking its movement. Now L4 to L5 I can't move. So because we have the channel blocking. Same thing, L5 to L6 or L6 to L9 we can't move because we have a channel blocking like this one. So if we are trying to move, then we can't move. It means what we have zero value. So it's a rewarding value can be identified by the zero. But where the possibility movement is possible, but vice versa is possible or not. So let us check. L2 to L5 you can come, but after if you're trying to look into the L5 to L2, that would not be possible. So it is possible or not. So we will see this concept right now through our table, and that table is known as the reward table. So reward table is saying nothing. The reward table is saying to a simple way, what is the possible movement we can have, because after cleaning the car, you can just try to check its other thing, but after repairing, after some other thing, what is the possibility movement we can have? So there will be proper sequence. It should not be happen into the our vehicle while giving to service center. First they are washing your vehicle, and then they are repairing, and then again they are washing, and then again updating the parts. It should not be. They have some sequence on which we have to follow and on which they are following. That is the reason. So we have the specific setup, and such setup is known as the environment. So reward can be identified by the simple way. So let us understand this concept with the reward table. So reward table is just giving the detail into the only the 0 1 position, 0 1 point only. If we are getting the reward, then there will be the 1. So reward can be identified by the its proper or possible movement. So this table is visible to all. Yes, tell me. This table is visible to all. The reward table.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so I'm explaining the reward table, how we are getting the value. So you can see L1, L2 are communicating simultaneously. So we have the 1. It means what is the sequence we can have, vice versa is possible or not. So let us check. So L1 to L1 is possible. So we have the 1 reward, and L2 to L1 we have also possible. So we have the 1 reward. L2 to L3 we can have. L2 to L3 we can go. So that would be the 1 reward. But L3 to L2 is possible or not? So let us understand, is it possible? L3 to L2 it is also possible. So we have the 1 value. So you can see, observe over here. So from this perspective, what is the possible movement we can have? It means we are getting the 1 point, that is the reward. So when we have the possible movement in our real life situation, then we are getting the reward. Else we are getting the 0 or nothing. So that is a 0 is saying to us, you are getting the no reward, but not we are not imposing the penalty. So we are getting the no reward. So from this point we have to keep in mind. But there is no guarantee in the reward table. So this is my point. Please keep in mind right now. There's no guarantee in the reward table. You people are required to keep only these two kind of the values, 0 and 1 only. In this world, we have the lots of the cars. We have the lots of vehicle, and all vehicles are look like the same. Okay, so two wheels or 4 wheels, and this is the steering and gear, the brake and clutch, and so on. So lots of things. But in this world, each and every vehicle has own identity following by its chassis number or engine number. So whenever I need to just define the my device or vehicle as a unique identification, or just like your Aadhaar card in this country, so we can put the value as a its identity purpose. So the reward table can be updated by the such value as well. So as L7, it is not mentioned over here, but I am speaking over here. L7 is a robot which is used to identify the chassis if chassis number is not available, and while manufacturing the new car, so it put the chassis number or engine number on the car engine, what we have to put over here. So L7 is a advanced robot. So you can see over here from this table, I have also marked by the circle over here. L7 to L7 there is no communication, we are getting the 0, but there's internally we have the communication because L7 is a robot which provides the unique chassis number and engine number. So instead of this one, we can put the such value, or we can put the higher value, or we can put the remarkable value. So our reward table can be identified in simple way. So that is my point over here. You can see over here after uh, getting the 0 value, and which is not justified the my reward table properly. So I'm just updating the my such value by the function, and that function is known as the q value function. Okay, so I have also written over here the blue color. You are trying to update the q value. You are trying to update the q value, that is a 0 to 999. So 999 could be any value of that belongs to chassis engine number. So I put it over here. Okay, so from this point, you can update your reward table, no issue. So updation also possible, while in the passive learning, the reward table will not be updatable. That is the point. So in real life situation, what is the problem we are dealing with? That is also belong to only the active learning. So most of the people will like to choose. Most of the people will like to follow active learning rather than the passive learning. So active learning is most important learning in the reinforcement learning, because those student or those person who will like to work on the reinforcement learning, they are also recommending the Q learning, because Q learning is most of the familiar. It is simpler and it is simplest method rather than the other passive or active learning. That is the reason. No one will like to discuss about the ADP with exploration, ADP, and temporal difference, other parameter. That is the point. So Q-learning is the simplest method, and that is to be identified by the so many problems for solving the real situation as well. So that is the reason most of the people will like to use the Q-learning. So from this point, we have to use the Q-learning. So Q-learning, after understanding this point, we have used this point right now. Yes, tell me right now any doubt? So far, any doubt? We have discussed the ADP with exploration function, and we also covered the Q-learning. Just tell me any doubt so far, if you have. Yes, tell me.
No, sir.
So
No, sir.
now, okay, good, thank you. So now we are moving on the last slide, which describes summarize of our important part so far we have discussed. As I told you, model-free approach in the reinforcement learning type is saying to us, you're talking about the real world problem. So in the passive learning, we have seen the temporal difference. Temporal difference learning model follow the model free. Why model free? Because it does not support the transition model approach, because transition model is not supported by the temporal differences or not evaluated by the temporal difference learning. So this could be the example of the real world. And how we can say it is real world? Because exam analogy example we have already discussed. But when talking about the model based simulation under the passive learning, so simulation by the simulation, as I told you, by the tutor itself, then adaptive dynamic programming, where we have used the gamma value, other things. So why we can say simulation? Because we have to use the transition model. So when you are using the transition model, then you are using the model based approach in the learning paradigm into the reinforcement learning. From this point, when I'm updating the update ADP method along with its proper exploration function to transform my passive to active learning method. So here we have the ADP with proper exploration function under the active. So I have written over here. But when talking about the last time, I'm talking about the Q-learning. So Q-learning, we have seen the example of the car assembler analogy. So this example also belongs to the real world situation or real world problem. So that is the reason these are the four different kind of the things we have seen. Instead of these four different methods, we have an important method we should not forget, that is the DAC estimation utility. So DAC estimation utility is just basic method for evaluating the calculating the or estimating the utility value. And that part we already discussed before 2 days, before about previous lectures. We already discussed. So this is a summary point so far we have discussed under the reinforcement learning. We have to keep in mind. So this is a summarized part. Yes, tell me any doubt in this parameter or in this kind of the algorithm you have. Please, you can ask me right now.